rage
Thompson,
that her boyfriend had.
Criminal defense attorney. What do you have to say?
First of all, we're talking about them ordering a pizza after 9 bullets went into a car. It might have killed several people, not just the one person. Other people were in the car too. But why isn't anybody saying, why did they even leave the scene? If you honestly think you were being attacked and your life was threatened and you defended yourself, you call 911, you wait for the cops to come, you give them the report. If you're not doing that, you're leaving, going home, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Look, Dante, I just think that, and this is what I say, and I'd like to get Sunny's reaction because she was in court. When I say it's wooden, I mean, you've got this aggressive defense attorney who's like fast and loose all over the place, and I feel like the prosecution, while being very earnest, is suffering from a little too much earnestness. There are times when you should be sarcastic and call somebody on the carpet. Are you kidding me? You ordered a pizza? I mean, to telegraph to the jury, what the heck? And I want to go back to Sunny. You were in court. I mean, how do you think that the jurors are perceiving all of this?
So I think that, like, this is where stand your ground laws are dangerous. Like, right, going back to what was said earlier, I think this goes into the fact that Black lives are not valued in America, in the sense of what happened with Trayvon Martin and the vigilantism of George Zimmerman. This is very similar to the same case of Michael Dunn. He thinks that he can get away with this law, even though the fact of the matter is that Jordan Davis is dead. And Jordan Davis still needs to find justice within that.
Well, even though he's not
depending on that attitude. He's depending upon that
Sonny,
attitude.
I know he's not arguing stand your ground, but the point is very well made. Sonny Hostin.
Well, you know what's interesting? This jury is a very different jury, and I have been in the courtroom. I have had the chance to check them out. We're talking about a pretty diverse jury in comparison to the Zimmerman jury. There are 10 women on the jury. There are 5 white men, 5 white women, and then there are also 3 African-American women, and there's a Hispanic man, and there's also an Asian woman who happens to be a doctor. And so these folks seem to be very, very clear in what they're listening to. They're very, very riveted by a lot of the testimony, and they seem to be judging all of the credibility of all of the witnesses. They're taking notes. A lot of them are furiously taking notes, and in particular, when the ME was going over the testimony, her testimony, I found that the doctor that was on the jury took a lot of notes, paid a lot of attention to the forensic information, and so I think that we really have to think about that, because this is a very different jury.
Let's go out to the phone lines. A very patient Christine, North Carolina. What do you have to say, Christine?
Yeah, my question is, Jane, I'm wondering if he had not have left the scene of the crime. I know he had been drinking off and on all day. Then they went to buy more alcohol. If he had not left the scene of the crime and they had checked his alcohol level, would self-defense been taken off the table?
You know, I think you raise a very important point. Alcohol was a possible factor in the shooting. I want to show you some photos introduced in court of the wedding of the defendant's son, which he attended. And we know that the defendant had several rum and cokes before going to the gas station, where he ended up having this argument that killed Jordan Davis, this teenager, in an argument over loud music. Here are some wedding photos, and here is his girlfriend, the defendant's girlfriend, on that very issue.
And Mike had a few drinks there. How many do you think, Mike?
I don't think he had more than 3.
Okay. Does he ever drink to excess?
Oh, yeah.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said he had a couple of drinks at the wedding.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Now, when you said 3 or 4, did he drink 3 or 4, or did he go to the bar that many times to get drinks?
No, I think he drank them.
Okay. And these cups, were they served in red Solo cups?
No, they were about this size.
Okay. Did he seem impaired in the slightest bit from alcohol?
Not at all.
Okay, take a look. 4 cups. All right, that's not an... that's a lot. I speak as a recovering alcoholic, and again, I think they could have been more aggressive, the prosecutors. Rolando Watts, they could have said, look, honey, look, ma'am, did you go to the bathroom at any time? Are you sure it was only 4 rum and cokes? Couldn't it have been 5 rum and cokes? I mean, this guy has had a DUI in his past. His ex-wife said that, oh, she's seen him drink to excess, with a laugh. His girlfriend said she'd seen him drink to excess. I mean, this guy could have been drunk, and that could have affected his anger. and his judgment.
And also why he left the scene. I mean, I think that that's a big factor. As far as we know, alcohol may affect this gentleman or this man in a way that makes him aggressive, that made him agitated when he heard that music, that made him lose his mind, basically. But you cannot tell me that that may not be why he left the scene of the crime also, because maybe he had more drinks than he said that he had, or that his girlfriend saw, because she wasn't with him every single time. How does she know? Was she with him every single second he was at that reception?
That's what I'm saying. I think the prosecution could have made a point of that. It's at least 4 drinks. Maybe it could have been more. Now, on the other side, we're going to talk to Mark O'Mara. You know, he is the famous attorney who successfully defended George